Let me also welcome in the management of Apollo Hospitals, Ritesh Kumar, the MD and CEO, as well as MD and CEO of HDFC ERGO, as well as Shobana Kamineni, the Executive Vice Chairman, Apollo Hospitals, on the deal between the two companies. Thanks so much for joining us. Ritesh, share with us the contours of the deal, the kind of value that you're looking at here on the deal. Share with us really all the details first.
So HDFC is paying a price of 1,347 crores for a 51.2% share. So this translates into a value of 2,630 crores for the 100% entity.
Okay, and Ritesh, we understand the entire transaction is for a cash consideration. How much is that for the deal and who will be funding it?
So, the entire deal is happening in a two-stage process. So in stage one, HDFC goes in and purchases the entire shareholding of the Apollo family, and which aggregates to 50.8% and another 0.4% of few employees, so aggregating to 51.2% of Apollo Munich. So the aggregate consideration that is being paid is 1,347. This is a consideration which is an all cash consideration which will be paid by HDFC to the sellers.
Right. Shobana, morning. If I could get you in as well on the discussion, could you talk about the deal? What is the breakup? How much will promoters get and how much will go back into the company?
It's a 1,600 crore deal, which includes a 294 crore amount that comes from Munich. So in totality, it'll be divided almost according to our shareholding and risk. So Apollo Hospitals owns 9%, 9.9%.
But Shobana, what's the tax implication of this particular deal? What will be the post-tax in hand cash, and also when is it that you're going to close the deal?
The tax implication, it's quite straightforward, long-term capital gains, and also from the other thing we're looking at, the termination fee is probably at it's deemed income. So those are the effective tax rates that we've calculated against. So, and the timelines would be subject to NHB, CCI, and IRDA. The regulators involved in this.
Sure. Ritesh, what's the rationale for the deal? Synergies with HDFC ERGO. Talk us through, what you see there.
See, the rationale for the transaction is that if you really look at the health insurance space, this has been the fastest growing space of general insurance. So, if I was to talk of some numbers, over the last 18, 19 years since the market opened up, the general insurance sector has grown at a CAGR of 17%. But when we look at accident and health, this is something which has grown at about a 24% CAGR. So in a manner of speaking, something which was 9% of the industry in 2001 is today 30% of the industry. And our read of the entire market is that this would over the next 5 years overtake motor as the largest single piece of line of business. So basically having a stronger foothold in the fastest growing segment of general insurance is really what the rationale behind the deal is.
Okay, and Shobana, after you receive the money, when do you pay back the pledge? What will be the current pledge ratio and what's the amount that's going to be repaid?
I think that we're looking definitely that, first of all, I must say that this is not a desperate sale. This was a planned strategic decision because one, you must understand that we've grown this business to be one of the best assets in health insurance. It's number 2, profitable, and but the country needs more and the ability to scale. Whereas we have also investment pulls in the healthcare space. So to be a provider, and so first we strategically, opened up this whole sector of health insurance, and having done so, our core business is about what is the point in millions of people having health insurance but no hospital to go to. So I think as a strategic decision, so it was never a compulsion because the company or the promoters were not stable, which was really clear if you can see. and we will do whatever is necessary to keep investor confidence in the Apollo promoter group and in the hospital group.
Right. But Shobana, again, will a significant part be used to pay back pledge in the company?
Significant, yes.
Okay. Right. Because earlier there were concerns what investors had about the peak, pledge in the company. So can you assure them that after this deal, promoter and promoter pledge issues are now behind them and you're in a comfortable spot?
I think that what people have seen, and you'll see that the investor confidence is stemming also from our share price, is that they're seeing results of the company, and they're seeing that we are continuously delivering on our promises of growth and on the governance side of it. So this whole thing of pledge has been around for a long time, and it's only come to the fore because of a crisis in other companies. So I don't think you can paint everyone with the same brush, saying that anyone with a promoter pledge is in trouble. But having said so, under prudent guidelines as a family, we also realize that it is that we should correct it, and we're doing so.
Ritesh, can we expect HDFC ERGO, it was to be listed. When can we expect that listing?
You see, our first job is really to sort of ensure that the integration of the two entities happens properly. And since that, by any sort of reckoning, is something which should take 18 to 24 months. So anything only be or could only be considered thereafter. At what time should an IPO happen is really a shareholder call. So it's actually inappropriate for me to comment. But what I can definitely say is that during the process of integration, it is not something which should be done. So at least 18 to 24 months. Would be the time which would be taken in the whole merger process and the stabilization of the business.
Right. Shobana, one last word on CapEx, and now that it's over, how do you see margins going? Do you expect expansion coming back to say about 16 to 17% before you restart the CapEx cycle?
The margins, I do think that we have enough headroom in our business, because as we have capacity, as these beds in our hospitals start doing, that the new hospitals start doing better, there's enough, and when we fill that itself, I think seeing 16-17% is possible, but it'll also come from more interesting. If you see our proton, that gives a huge halo for everything in cancer. So I think that we are looking also at disease specific and disease management, and when we get into that kind of specialization, those are the needs of India today. And you'll see that the business model will, over the last few years, have been shifting towards expertise and looking at management of diseases.
Shobana, Ritesh, thank you both so much for talking to us this morning and sharing with us details on that deal as well. Thanks so much.